Have you ever been let down by a broken promise? Maybe you can recall a time when you broke a promise you made to someone else. This month at Wisen Church locations, we've been exploring the promises we make as humans and how we're not always trustworthy. But even though people will let you down, God never will. We explored the story of Abraham and how even though God made some pretty huge, even unbelievable promises to him, God kept every one of those promises. This included making Abraham's name great, giving him uncountable number of descendants who would live in a specific geographical area, a promised land, and blessing all the families of the earth through his lineage. As we know, Jesus Christ came out of Abraham's lineage, so literally every person has salvation through Abraham's family. Our New Year's resolution is to be more like Abraham, who is not known for the promises that he kept, but is known for the promises he believed. We took a look at the story of Eve and Cain after sin came into the world. Looking at the Hebrew, it's a possibility that Eve thought Cain was the Messiah that God promised. She would have been devastated then, watching as he turned and ran so far from God. Have you ever thought that you knew God's plans and promises only to realize that you misunderstood or made a wrong assumption? Eve can relate, but God still kept his promise to send a Messiah, and God still keeps his promises he makes to us even when we misunderstand what the promise is. We then turn to the book of Leviticus and Deuteronomy to take a look at how one of the ways we know God is faithful to keep his promises is because he even keeps them when they are inconvenient to us. And while there are wonderful promises of blessing for when we have a right relationship with God, there are also unfortunate promises for when we act in opposition to him. But even when he does have to discipline his people, he does so while promising all of the blessings he wants to give us when we turn back to him. And we looked at how God has partially fulfilled some of his promises, but not completely yet. Sometimes it might be easy to get discouraged and think that God is taking forever to fulfill the things he's promised, but just look at how God speaks of his future promises, as if they've already taken place. And since we know God has a track record of keeping his promises, we know it's only a matter of time before we see the full fulfillment take place. And finally, we wrapped up this month with a talk about how we can be a part of God's promises and fit into the plans he has. We talked about how you have to know the plan before you can be a part of it. You have to trust the plan before you'd want to be a part of it. And you have to realize that you are the plan because God has invited each one of us to be a part of the spread of his good news, his soul-winning mission to the world. God truly is wonderful for keeping all the promises he makes. And it's a privilege to know that he wants to use us in his plans to fulfill those promises that have not yet been completed. It's been a great month journeying through these lessons, and we want to invite you to study with us, Sabbath mornings in Kenosha, Racine, and Raymond, and Friday evenings between our Racine and Raymond locations. For more information, go to our website at wisensda.org and find us on Facebook and social media on our Wisen Church, Wisen Health, and Wisen Media pages. Have a great day, and God bless.